Let's move on to next section. So in this section, what we will do is basically it's a hands-on session. So if you are attending my course, then you will be working with me uh, to basically do this exercise hands-on. And for that, the template which is required for writing this response or prompt are already available in the course which you are referring to. So please work with me step by step on this session, because that's how you are going to learn it. So in this section, what we will do is generate a list of your story related to a feature. So what is this section or this problem we are trying to address is, many times you are a Scrum Master, you are working as a Scrum Master, product owner, product manager, lead business analyst, and you are given one feature. Uh, and you what you have to do is you have to break this feature down into your stories, right? And instead of doing that manually, what we are doing is we are going to use ChatGPT for delivering this. So basically, this will have three steps. The first step is we'll write the prompt for generating the list of your story. For this, we will use our standard prompt generating template, which is available in earlier videos in this course. Obviously, if you map it back to the framework, um, ChatGPT framework, what this step is basically, in this step, we'll analyze and understand the task at hand. In this scenario, the task is to generate a set of your story which based on feature description. And then we'll understand it, analyze it, and then we'll draft the prompt based on our understanding and requirement for this particular deliverable. Then the next step is we'll use the ChatGPT prompt which we generated or drafted in last step to run it through ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT will create the response, which is have the a list of your story which we are expecting corresponding to a feature. So yeah, so this is what we are going to do in this step, and then in next step, what we will do is we'll review the response which is generated by ChatGPT, and if it is of high quality, we'll uh, contextualize it based on our context, based on our feature, based on the task at hand, and basically populate it in our template. So yeah, so this is the high level things which we will achieve in session. In this slide, what we are going to do is basically we'll work on um, we will work on writing a prompt for the task hand, which is basically we'll write a prompt, ChatGPT prompt, which will basically convert a feature into corresponding your story. That's what we are going to do. So let's go through the steps step by step. Obviously, we are going to use our journal prompt structure template to write this prompt for this particular use case. So in the first step, what I've done is basically I've asked ChatGPT to assume the role of product manager, because product manager tend to do this kind of work. Product manager or product owner, that they tend to write, identify what are the use stories within a feature. Then the next step in the prompt is I'm describing the project or product at hand. In this particular case, what we are doing is we are uh, writing this feature for a uh, Amazon style book selling website. Then in the next step, what we are doing is um, we are generating various sections which we want in the response of our prompt. So in this particular case, what we want is we want the list of stories which we want ChatGPT to generate, and also corresponding estimate for each your story. And all these stories should be corresponding to the feature, which is basically book search. So the key idea here is what we want is ChatGPT to generate a list of all the use story corresponding to the book search feature, and we want it to give estimate for each story. Then the next step is basically, sorry, within this also we are telling that this feature is corresponding to the Amazon style book selling website. So this is again giving some additional context to the product. Then we are not basically uh, writing the name of framework author. We are skipping this step, and then obviously this step we have already done, that we have given the additional context to the product or project. And then these are some additional parameter which we are introducing, quality parameters or additional information. For example, we want each of these story to follow invest principle. Basically, so that each of these stories are testable independent of each other. Then we want the estimates which ChatGPT is going to generate to be in story point, and each story point should be equal to 1 day of effort. Also, one additional parameter we have specified is we don't want any of the story to be more than 7 story point. The reason for doing that is basically we want to follow that principle that each story should fit within a sprint. And assuming if it is a 2 week sprint, then the maximum size by thumb rule which we can take in a sprint is 7 story points. So yeah, so this is what that's how we have constructed our prompt for this particular use case. The blue font content is the content which you will be contextualizing based on your product and project. Rest of the content, whether it is in black font or red font, if you are generating a list of or list of your story corresponding to feature, rest of the steps will most likely remain. Rest of the prompt will most likely remain same with for you. So in these blue fonts ones, in this one, what you will do is you'll explain the context of your project or product and or task, and in this one you will name the title of the feature you want ChatGPT to generate stories for, and then you give some additional context of the product here. And basically this step, if you map it back to our framework, ChatGPT framework, which we discussed earlier, this step is around like we have analyzed and understood the problem at hand, which is basically the task here is to generate a generate a list of your story from a feature title. And then what we have done is we have drafted a ChatGPT prompt for this task. Okay, so after this, the next step is basically uh, run this ChatGPT prompt which we have written here in ChatGPT. So what I'm doing is I'm just copying this prompt, going to ChatGPT, and I'm going to basically start a new chat and basically pasted this prompt here, and I'm going to run it here. Okay, so ChatGPT has now generated 7 new story. So what we are going to do is we'll quickly uh, port these stories to the templates to the template which we have already provided.